Hello and welcome to Zaza Zooms In. Today I'm with my girl Derin Delight again, and we're talking about motherhood because motherhood is something that a lot of us do, and some of us feel like we're equipped for it, some of us don't. But I hear a lot, oh, she changed, she changed, she changed. Of course we change. You change when you become a mother. So we spoke about that, how we think that we have changed since becoming a mother. This is what we had to say. Delight, you're back again. It's such a delight to have you back again.
Thank you.
And what did we discuss last time?
Boundaries. That went back to our first conversation we ever had.
Which was?
Oh my God, I've just blanked.
What was our first one?
Am I enough? Good enough.
Yes, right, yes. Worth. Well done. Okay, so today we're going to talk about motherhood.
Okay.
Different aspects of motherhood. The first question I'm going to ask is, did motherhood change you? Do you think motherhood changed you?
I'm sure it has. I don't know how though. But I mean, I know it has. I mean,
it has to have. I mean,
right.
Yes, it has to have. I think any say life-changing situation.
Yeah.
How come when you grow a child?
Yeah.
How can you say motherhood? Of course, it changes.
No, it's changed me. But I mean, has my personality changed?
No. When I said maybe the question is a bit misleading.
So clarification.
So I don't mean like changed you personality-wise, because I'm not sure. Although I did have a friend that was horribly selfish before she became a mother, and then she became okay. I'm not saying she was selfless, but it changed. I mean, it's dramatic, because I guess when you realize that somebody is completely dependent on you, you have to you don't count anymore. You don't count anymore. So that actually, and I remember seeing that and thinking, wow, as in I would never have expected that, but it completely changed her.
Okay.
So that changed her personality.
Okay, because that's what I was thinking when you asked that question. Okay, yeah. So.
But I was, so maybe when I say changed, personality maybe, but also just in terms of the way you look at things, the way the things that matter now or don't matter, I don't know, because I think, look here, motherhood is a big deal.
Huge.
I think I always say to my children, because I'm kind like that, I shared my body with you for 10 months. Like, excuse me, please. Because that's even the first thing.
Yeah.
You share your body with the child. So you have that. And depending on how you respond to pregnancy, sometimes that can be really, really tough. Mm-hmm. Like you could be very ill with it, or you could be, you know what I mean? But you know that you're bringing forth a child. So you don't want to feel bad for being upset that you're so sick with it. You know what I mean? So there's all those emotions there. And then half of the time, the fathers are not much use at that point in time,
That's true.
but you know what I mean? So I think the change even starts like right there in terms of, just little things. Yeah. But then, so let me answer the question myself. Has motherhood changed me? Absolutely, it has. It has to have. Can I identify things? I think it's harder for me to identify things because like what you were saying earlier, when you were saying it's instinctive. When I say, are you a good enough mother? You said it's instinctive. I think I've been a mother I was babysitting your sister when I was 7 years old. You know what I mean? So I've been a mother from young. Yeah. So I feel like there were some things that, there's some mothers that say that it doesn't come to them naturally. And I think that's true. Yeah. Some people, it doesn't come to them naturally. So in that situation, it must really change their lives. It must really change them, because if it doesn't come to you naturally, then there's also that, depending on who you are and how strong you are as a person, the guilt that will come with that do I not love the child enough if I can't get into that mode, or you know what I mean? So there's a lot of
that's quite a hassle.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on there. But I think I entered motherhood quite easily based on that, as in I was quite used to having a younger person to look after. I was going to say maybe changing. I don't think I changed nappies. I did before, but not at a very young age. But you know what I mean? It was just the normal thing. But I think for me, realizing, especially when they were younger, that they were completely dependent on me. Completely dependent on me. That changed the way, like it's all, and I would say to their dad, you're a father now, you can't be, you know what I mean? Don't go and be riding a bike. A motorbike or whatever. You know what I mean? you now need to change some things because now it's not just about you anymore. And I guess maybe
Yeah.
that's the key thing, that it's just not about you anymore. And so I think, so for me, it was quite seamless to fall into motherhood, but there were certain things that I was so like, I mustn't do this now, because I guess it's the same thing with marriage, because like I remember when I first got married and there's certain things where I'm like, oh, whatever I do reflects on him. You know, it's like,
Yes.
I don't want them to think that, you know, and I tried to explain this to my husband, he didn't get it, because I remember one of my friends once had bumped into him at some nightclub or something. Now I knew he was there, it wasn't like he was there, you know, but my friend had said to me, your husband was, you know, had come with it, he was trying to be negative, thought I didn't know about it, and was trying to, you know. So I was having a conversation with my husband and I was saying, because you see now, everything you do reflects on me. So where before you could go out and nobody really cared, now they're all thinking, does his wife know she's
Yes,
there?
exactly.
You know what I mean? So everything's
here. What's he? Yeah.
you know, watching. So I think that was the same sort of thing that happened with parenting for me, where I suddenly was like, if I do this, how is it going to affect my child later? So the things that I might not have thought about before, I'm just like, I don't want in 10 years' time that's.
They're like, why did you? No.
you know what I mean? So I think that's how it changed me, if it changed me like that. But it's interesting because I think motherhood is such a selfless job. And I think, like you said, for most of us that it's instinctive with, we don't even know. Look, let me keep quiet. I just think womanhood is a selfless job.
But like you said from the get-go, so when you're pregnant and they're like, you cannot have seafood, you cannot have shellfish, say that's your favorite thing, you automatically just give it up. So you start sacrificing, like you said, from the get-go of those things. You'll start already kind of changing in some ways. I guess I hadn't even thought about it as a change. And then, like you said, then they're born, and the way you react to things, or the way, I'll never forget, we were on a plane and I fell asleep. We were all sleeping, and you know, the baby started crying, and the baby wasn't right beside me. I just sat up, and Julia's like, how did you hear? How did you know? How did you? And it's just
instinct. No, it's I think, I mean, I do think that some of that is just a natural thing. Like I said, my husband is always laughing at me when any of the kids are sick. I can't sleep. I mean, how can you sleep when the child is sick? I can't sleep, and he will be snoring. The child is sick. He's like, it's just a cough. But the child,
you're in there how many times checking, and you go back to bed, then you're up again to check. It's true.
So I think it does. You know, it does change you. It does make you do things differently. But I think also what more and more, and I'm not great at this, but more and more, you know, like when you think about the environment and things, when you now think something that didn't matter to you before, you're now thinking, but it's my grandchildren that are going to be left with this rubbish. You do you know what I mean? And so now it suddenly matters, because it's like, okay, I mean, before, you know, I think we even say that thing, I'll be dead before.
Right? But now you're thinking, oh, but I'm leaving behind.
Yeah, exactly. So there's not like, you know, so I think it does change. But I think, does it change your relationships? What do you think, Matt? Does motherhood change your relationships?
Yes.
That was a very fun.
No, I do. Well, okay, so say in marriage, I think, you know, when it's just the two of you at first, it's just the two of you. And then you start having kids. So it's very important remembering to carve out time for just the two of you. Because it is so easy to get caught up in daily life. And these people are so dependent on you that all your energy can so easily go into making sure they're okay, catering for them, running after them. So I do think that it definitely changes that. So being very aware of it and making steps to, you know, making sure that your partner still feel, because I'm sure they feel a little bit, not resentful, but sort of like, wow,
well,
okay, what happened to me? They're like, I'm now at the bottom of the pack. So I think that's one way, for sure. And then, I mean, even with friends, especially if it's friends that don't have children, again, the expectations of what, you know, no, I'm not going out every night. I cannot. Like, I don't want to, first of all, but I literally cannot, you know? And sometimes people don't get that or don't understand.
Yeah, they think you've changed.
Yes. And you're like, well, I have, but it's the natural progression of, like, life. Like, I have to. I'm still your friend. We can still hang out, but...
I mean, because I do think you're right. It's funny that you went on to the marriage relationship, because when I said relationships, I wasn't referring to the marriage relationship, and I think it's very key what you did say, because I think, I mean, I even did it when I had like second child. I think I told you when you were expecting your second one that make sure you carve out time for the first one,
Yes.
so that they don't feel, because there's always going to be that displacement thing, and because the baby needs full-time attention, you can't, and then you know there's
literally
also
to survive.
to survive, and then there's also that guilt, especially like from the spouse, where is, am I jealous of a child? You know what I mean? Because I have no business being, but I can see that all her attention is on the child. So there's that. Oh my God, we have to manage so many things, and we've just become mothers. Then you now have to start managing all sorts. But I was actually thinking about friendships.
Okay.
When I said do your relationships change? And it's interesting because I don't know whether you did this, but with my group of friends, most of us are godparents to somebody's children. So within us, we kind of own the children.
All connected. Love it.
We kind of own the children. You know what I mean? So it's like, so I think that helps as well, in the sense that the ownership now was not just on us, like, okay, so but when I now say to you, I mean, when you are her godmother, so you have an investment, if you like, in this child. So you didn't see the child necessarily. I mean, I don't think we did that deliberately. It just happened that way. And so you don't see the child so much as a threat. It's now like competition. She's now part of your. You know what I mean? It's a thing. But I do think, especially ones that can't have children, sometimes it can be really, really tough, because you who have had the child can feel guilty because you knew they've tried for so long. You tried for 1 month, and then so there's that thing, and how you manage the relationship. I don't know, motherhood, but I do think that motherhood is one of the most, I was going to say rewarding, I'm saying it in inverted commas. No, it is rewarding. I don't want it to sound like it's not rewarding, but it's such hard work.
It is.
And it's, when they say every mother is a project manager, and every mother, I'm sure you've seen those things where it says I'm a taxi driver, I'm a cleaner,
yes,
and I'm at everything,
yes,
and I don't get paid for any of them type of thing, and that's one of the joys of motherhood.
It is.
So you have 3 children. What's the space between them?
It's only 17 months between the first 2, and then between the last 2, it's 6 years.
Okay.
So the third, it was like all new again. But the first was like twins, so it was sort of.
Yeah. I wonder if, what I was thinking, because I was wondering if, anyway, I think this is irrelevant. I was going to say, I wonder if mothering one child is different. We don't have that experience.
No, although now I feel somewhat like I am, because the older 2 are boarding school and the little one is at home, and it's just her. So it does feel like, during the week she is an only child.
Yeah. So is that different?
It is. It's different demands, because again, as an only child, I am now on top of still obviously doing the driving and the cooking and I'm a playmate. I'll be like, please, what do only people that are actually only children do? Because yes, she wants me to play, and then obviously is upset when I'm not playing. And I'm like, I've still got all these other things to do. So
a lot of only children are quite mature, because they spend a lot of time with adults. With all.
That's true. The ones I know, you're right.
Yeah, they're quite mature. Because I remember one of my cousins. She, like you, she came after. So she was the 3rd child, but she was far behind. So she was like an only child, and she, from very young, she was very quick. She was very, her. She spoke. She was just so far ahead of her time, and sometimes I thought to her detriment, because she'd obviously been in the presence of adults, maybe when she shouldn't have been as well. You know what I mean? But just because that was the way the situation was. So sometimes I think, but I always say to my friends that have only children that they should try and get a cousin or so, so that they don't feel like they're alone, because I just feel it's nice to have more than one. I mean, obviously it's nice to be spoiled rotten and be the only one, but I do think sometimes it can be quite lonely.
So my niece had told me, because obviously the boys are close together, and then there's a gap from to my daughter, and she had actually said to me, if you have a third, have a fourth. Because she's a third with a little bit of a gap, and she said she felt like an only child, and I was like, I'm not having a fourth, but thanks, I hear you on that. But yeah.
Well, I guess there are pros and cons to being an only child, I guess. I mean, maybe Or are there?
I don't know. Growing up in the middle of,
Yeah,
because I would.
yeah,
I don't know what it's like.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know what else to say on motherhood. What else can we say on motherhood?
It's amazing. It's hard work. It's amazing. We're fabulous for doing it. Okay, and again, I don't want to say it because you're right. Some people don't take to it naturally, but for those of us that have, it's just a natural. Like you couldn't.
I actually think.
Could you have taught me to do this?
But you see, I also think it's obviously because we believe. I believe that we were created. There's a capacity that God has given us as women, and this is not even just as mothers, as women, to do many things. You know what I mean, and to be good at many things. And I think that motherhood is one of those things that you come. I remember I had a friend who had children around about the same time as I did, and she was a career woman, and she really struggled with this motherhood thing I get into it. She loved her kids and she liked them for like an hour before she couldn't deal, and she went back to work quite early on. But I remember before she went back to work, she would call me up to, baby, can she drop off her son for an hour? She needs to go. And I found out much later that she was literally just dropping me off and going back home because she couldn't deal with it. And I couldn't judge her for that. I said to her when I found out, I said, you should have just told me. I didn't. But she said she was too embarrassed to tell me because I did it so naturally. It didn't seem a big. I could even take on somebody else's child and it wasn't a big deal. And she was struggling to do, with her own child. So I think sometimes, it's.
I mean, it's like breastfeeding. People just think, it should be happen. It should be natural. Well, no, it's not. For some people, it's a struggle. For some people, it will not happen, and that is okay.
Yeah.
But like you said, they're so judged by people that they don't reach out for help. They don't comment. There's all these things. So I do think, but it's funny, like you said, being able to do multiple things. I may be lying on this couch, but in my head, I'm thinking, okay, what am I'm picking this up at this time. This person goes here. What are they having to eat? Have I packed this? Like, going 24/7. Even in my sleep, I'll wake up and be like, wait, okay, I figured that out. Like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, it is constant. And that's why I say I think all women have that capacity.
That multitasking.
So whether you're doing it with a child or you're doing it with a husband, or you're doing it with work or whatever, siblings, I think we have that thing where we don't stop. And I don't think the men get that.
Yeah.
Like I said, classic example. My husband will say he's going to bed. And he will take his whatever and he will head upstairs to bed. And he's in bed and he's asleep within minutes. I will say I'm going to bed. I will go to the kitchen. I will wash up. I will put the washing into the laundry and the washing machine. I'll take what's in there out. I'll hang it up. I'll do like 10 things before I can even get up the stairs.
Yes. Well, you'll do another 10 things.
Do you know what I mean? And you'll be like, just come to bed. I'm like,
these things don't happen miraculous. There's not an elf that comes and does this when I'm in bed.
I can't just come to bed. And he thinks that he will say to me, that's why you're always tired. That's why you know what I mean? And I'm like, but it can't, like the other day I was talking to a friend of mine and we said, because I have plenty of people in my house, we have plenty laundry. Lots and lots of laundry. And I went to her house. She has fewer people in her house, but when I went to her house, when I was about to sit down, she moved something for me to sit. And she said, these stupid people that are waiting for Sikira to come and put their clothes away, referring to her children and, waiting for a helper. And I said, even in my house, they're waiting for a Sikira to come because it literally is like, it just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. And I think that's, so when you add I don't know how working mothers do it. In fact, there's many things we can say about motherhood. But I guess if you're a working mother, then you have help. I guess a lot of the time.
You delegate. You have to delegate.
Yeah, you
some
have
things.
to delegate. Yeah, you have to.
And you say no to certain things. You set your boundaries for certain things because you have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Motherhood. Would you change it for the world?
No.
Why?
Oh, I love it. Like you said, I think from birth, I always wanted to be a mother.
Okay.
Not from birth, obviously, I didn't come out at 2. But that's always something I wanted to do. Like, I never doubted that it would happen. And that I was made to do it.
It's interesting. And I wonder if...
Or created to do it, I should say. Maybe not made to do it, because it sounds like somebody's making me do it.
Oh, okay. I think, so it's interesting. I mean, I would like to have this conversation with other women to see if they... Because both of us, from a young age, always knew.
Yeah.
I mean, the other day, my youngest daughter said to me, and when she grows up, she wants to be a mother. So I said, oh, that's lovely. When I went I found her father. I was like, it's not a good thing. As in, of course, it's a good thing, but I don't want her to think that. I'm hoping she's seeing motherhood as a bigger thing than that.
Yeah,
I
I know
don't
what
think
you
that
mean.
I can be only a mother.
Yes,
Or,
yeah,
do you
yeah,
know what I mean? Like
yeah.
that's her limit.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I said, oh, that's great, But in my mind, I was not thinking, do I need to now say, but you could also be a dancer? And
Yes, exactly. And still be a mother. Yeah, no, you're right. It's like one full shot, that's it.
Because I didn't want it to be like, I'll be a mother and that's it. And also, it was so funny in that moment because I was not thinking, that's a compliment to me, I think. But then at the same time, I'm thinking, what is she seeing as motherhood? Is it a school run? Is it what
what she think motherhood is?
What's she seeing as motherhood? So I'm not like I just said, that's nice, and I quickly went to her father. I was like, I don't know.
Oh gosh, that's a very
is
good
this
point.
a good thing or not? I mean, I think it's a good thing because I know the entirety of it.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, what does she actually think?
Yeah. No, exactly.
Because what is motherhood to her? I don't know.
Because you hear other people make offhand comments like, I just want to stay at home and look after. Okay, well, actually, it's a lot more than that.
Yes,
and not just staying at home. And so if that's what you think you're going to sign up for, well, you're going to be in for a rude shock.
Very rude shock.
We don't just sit on the sofa eating bonbons all day. Like, oh gosh, don't get it
so it's interesting because I think it's one of those things. Well, my other daughter was saying to me that she might not be a mother. So I mean, so I guess it's interesting how you obviously the ages. The older one knows what she sees, what goes on. She probably knows what motherhood is more than the younger one. So it's like, nah, and also she knows how she speaks to me.
We always say, when you have kids, I hope they treat them the way they this week's like,
I've never said that.
No, I've never said it either. But I feel like, there's things like Grant used to say, be like, oh, you see, she treats you just like you used to treat me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's interesting. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, cool. I think we're done on that.
I think so.
Alrighty ho.
Thank you
very much. Will you come back?
I will.
Okay.
I've enjoyed it, thank you.
Let me know what you want to talk about.
Okay.
We can get a bit controversial.
Are you guys ready for it?
No, but that won't be on Zasaa Zooms in. That'll be on Zasaa Zooms.
Oh.
Yes.
True.
Yes, indeed.
That's
so
true.
Get a bit controversial.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I look forward to it.
Thank you. So yes, we've changed. Hopefully for the better. I don't know. Are you a mother? Do you think you've changed? What changed when you became a mother? Did people around you change? Did you change? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. God bless you.